Hi, Shantarl, medium here. During my throughout my journey of being a medium, I really realised and recognised that when I've started to tell my friends and family about the messages that have come through for lots of my friends and clients, that they absolutely love to hear all the stories. And funnily enough, I absolutely love to share the stories. So I thought it would be great each week for me to share a story with you, just to give you some more insight about the different kinds of spirit you get through, which is actually equates to the different kinds of people they were here, and they are still the same as you go, you pass over. So I want to tell you a story about at the beginning. I was very new and I knew I could receive messages because I'd tried it out, and a very, very, really good friend of mine said, look, come on over to my house and do a reading for me. So at that point, because I was so new, I didn't even know, I'd only done it in my home. So I didn't know that I could actually go somewhere else. And I know it might sound a bit silly, but I just didn't know. So of course I was a little bit nervous, but with her being a really good friend, she's like, oh mate, just chill, relax, it's all okay. Sit down, have some wine, thinking, oh, I shouldn't have any wine because I'm, going to try and get spirit through. But I felt at ease. So yeah, and the story is about how sometimes we want a certain person to come through and you kind of ignore what is coming through and say no, 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 no. So we're sat there and we're having a giggle and we're being relaxed and lovely. And at this point I didn't used to get any names, so I was amazed that I'd got the name Bert. So Bert came through. And I said, oh, mate, I'm seeing a Bert coming through. He's got dark hair, an elderly man. And she's like, nope. And when, she's trying to help you and I'm trying to help her. And I'm thinking, oh no, I obviously can't do this in somebody else's house in my head. But I'm just relaxing and chilling. And she's going, no, mate, really, seriously, I don't know a Bert. And I'm like, oh, okay, right, okay. And I said, he's showing me a tweed coat, a tweed jacket. Does that ring any bells? And she's like, no, absolutely. No, mate, no. I'm like, okay. So I kind of leave it. And I said, oh, about 83. And at that point, I wasn't getting any numbers. So I was thrilled. Not only did I have a Bert, and I got a number. Maybe I felt his age was 83. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, do you know what? And then I got a George through, and then she's like, yeah, 100%, absolutely, which was her. And I did feel it was her granddad, and I told him, he's really charming, and I got a really good, lovely feeling of warmth about him, and that he was in this, he was in a foreman's coat, and she said, no, absolutely, he was a foreman. And we went through various different things. So I was like, oh, so relieved. And then I got 85, and she's like, no, absolutely not 85. I was thinking, right. And I said, I got 65. And she said, yeah. She said, you're the only one he died when he was 65. And she said, and he actually died in 1985. And I was like, whoa, how cool. So that was really cool. But then I still had a sense of this other man, Bert, there. I'm saying, mate, are you sure you don't know a Bert? And she's like, no, absolutely not. And then I went, and bear in mind, all these, what they were showing me, these pictures, because I see I'm visual, so clairvoyant. I could see this really old, beautiful old black shiny car. And I'm just thinking, right, okay, it won't be the car. So in my head, I'm thinking, no, it's not the car. So I can't say car, what, Then I just said, and it was persistent, okay? So he kept showing me this car, and I just blurted it out, and I said, mate, I'm just seeing a really black, big, old, shiny car. I said, I don't know the make. She went, oh, that's Bert's car. Like, She went, oh, I'm sorry, she said. Bert was my granddad's best friend, and because my granddad died at such an early age, Bert was there, and he promised my granddad that he would come. She said, and he did, and every year he came to see if I was okay and check up on me. She said, and he did have a tweed coat and he did have a black. And it was just one of those moments. Obviously I needed it because I needed to confirm that I wasn't going mad. But two, for me and her, she was saying, I was so focused on having my granddad through. So even though I'd said the right things, you know, well, not me personally, but the messages that were coming through from Bert were correct. It was just absolutely hilarious. So they can be persistent, and we can, you know, if there's certain people that we do want to come in, we can be so focused on different things. So I just wanted to share that with you, and see you next week.